Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Not Another Fightcast. We are in the dungeon once more here with me, Andy the Icon Burrow, still not with my broadcast colleague, Mr. Phil PC underscore commentary Campbell. We will be back next week at some point. But today, again, I have one of Northern Ireland's mixed martial arts luminaries. And a guy who's supposed to be this can also be part of our MMA series, Irish MMA series. For a training partner, personal friend, and now Team Cabon member and Team Cabon assistant coach. I have the wonderful Ali Insane Maclean. Ali, how the hell are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How are you?
Not too bad. Just while we're here, obviously we're in a very weird time in planet Earth at the moment.
Yeah.
Where are you isolating, or where are you living out this quarantine?
Currently isolating just slightly outside the outskirts of Lisburn. With the folks. I normally stay in Liverpool, but I might as well take advantage of this quarantine as an opportunity to see my parents and just catch up with folks, So
Yeah, I suppose so. So the guys in Cabon, they're all obviously the gyms are closed. Nobody's really training outside of their own back garden, or they're in inverted commas one exercise outside a day. So
yeah,
there's no real point in you spending a lot of time in Cabon when you can be back here in Northern Ireland with the parents.
not really, not really. I mean, it's got its best. To be honest, I do miss it. Like even just if it's just fucking rolling an hour a day, I miss it. But you know what I mean, it's tempting just to go back for that. But it's pointless. I might as well just take advantage of this time to rest,
Yeah.
recuperate, reading a lot of books, research,
Mm.
study. So it's I'm taking advantage of it.
Yeah, I suppose making the most. This is one of those times where I had one of Northern Ireland's absolutely phenomenal personal trainers on yesterday, a girl, Stephanie McCluskey. She's on at steffiloves.com as her website, or Steffi Loves on Instagram. She's fantastic, really good mindset coach. And she was talking about, about keeping routine when you're off training and trying improving
Yeah,
your lifestyle, improving something about yourself, because this is a fucked up situation. So you have
absolutely.
to get something good out of it. Something good has to come out of something like this, because it's absolutely dog shit for everybody else.
Well, that's it. You've got to make some sort of positive from it. I mean, I've just been recently reading a book called "The Obstacle Is the Way."
Right?
Like if there's an obstacle in the way, that tends to be the way you're meant to go. There's a reason
Mm-hmm.
why it's in front of you. It's there so you can work out how to pass it or how to overcome it. So
Mm-hmm.
like for all of us at the moment, we're all at home, we're all with our own thoughts. So it's a matter of being okay with that. And a lot of people aren't. A lot of people are sort of drugs and alcohol. And this is a
Yeah.
telling moment for a lot of people that they're finally alone by themselves with their own thoughts, and do they like what they're telling themselves? Probably not a lot of people.
Most
So
most most
that's
likely not. Like being alone with your own
yeah,
thoughts can be quite a scary thing for most people, because it's not a lot of
absolutely.
time. Life is busy now. Like for
Absolutely.
most people, life is really really busy, and then when you're
Yeah.
taken away from your normal busy lifetime schedule, as you say, you're stuck alone with your own thoughts, your own worries, fears, anxieties, and that makes out can make the worst out of somebody. It can make the best out of somebody too.
You can go both ways, absolutely. I mean, like um suicide's on the rise with males, young males in particular. Um so I mean we could see a fucking pandemic with that alone at the end of
Yeah,
all this, with young males resorting to drugs during this period, but it's got nothing
yeah,
to do with me. Like that's what they're resorting to. So, and especially in Northern Ireland, there's not really much. Like I noticed when I went to Liverpool, there was a big difference between Belfast and Liverpool, because um, they're just Liverpool's like Belfast, but more going on. There's more
yeah,
happening. There's more gyms. There's more people. There's more excitement. There's more buzz. Whereas Belfast, I think, still coming away from sort of the troubles, and everyone's
yeah.
still a little bit sort of anticipating sort of danger and sort of a little bit unsure. There's a little bit more of a depression in the air.
There is.
Um,
I 100% agree with you. Liverpool is a really vibrant city, whereas Belfast,
it is.
in general, as much as I love Belfast, I absolutely
I love
love
it.
it, but
I love it.
yeah, it still has that like overarching darkness a bit still, and I think we're going to be with that for
Yeah,
another 5 years until people really do come together. But it is
yeah.
happening, and it is changing. It is a changing city.
Getting there
Um,
gradually. It's getting there gradually. Yeah.
But Liverpool, as you pointed out, I love Liverpool. I cheerfully live there. It's one of those brilliant places. We were over last year watching Liverpool, and it was absolutely amazing.
It's a sick place. It's a good atmosphere, and
Oh, it's
like
fantastic.
Scousers are just like the Irish,
Literally.
practically the same. So
Yeah, well, I
working
think
class.
I talked about this with Chris. There are so many historic links with Ireland, from shipbuilding and just everything, because you're literally
Yeah,
30 minutes away from one another. The
absolutely.
language is close to being the same. We're both really difficult to understand.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
both
strong
have this,
accents.
yeah, similar work ethic, a lot of strong working class values from both sides. So that's why I think people from Belfast and Liverpool identify, and that's why when people leave Northern Ireland, they make their way
Yeah,
over there. They just get
I
on.
agree.
They're just transplanted. You know, it's like they're just, oh, here's Belfast, but we're not in Belfast, but it just looks, it looks slightly different,
That's
but people is the same.
absolutely. It's exactly the same. Exactly the same.
So
Yeah.
now, you are in Team Cabon, obviously with people like Mike Grundy, Darren Till, Terry Adam, all the other guys that have come out of that gym and have made their way to massive, massive shows. You started out in Lisburn training a long, long time ago. Tell me about the genesis of Ali Maclean starting out in MMA.
Well, so it starts when I was younger. It starts when I was about 6 or 7. I can never be too sure what age it was. I tell people it was around that time, but I can't remember. Um, and I started judo.
Mm-hmm.
And if I didn't know what judo was. I knew you were a belt and you fought in some way, shape, or form. But I thought there were strikes involved. I didn't realize. I thought it was like karate. And I ended up going and I remember asking someone here, "When do you learn how to punch?" And I went, we just throw people in this sport." And I'm like, "What? You mean you don't punch people?" Like, no. I was like, "Fuck, I don't know what." Oh, I was raging. So I done that till I was about 14. And then I started MMA at 15, but I didn't know it was called MMA at that time. I
Yeah.
didn't know it was anything. It was just some guy at the back of Lisburn who fought bare knuckle. And I thought, fuck, I want to do a little bit of that. I wouldn't mind having a little go at that. So I just went up one day and I went in. There was this big, massive 6'4" giant with like a massive chest. Walks over to me and, "What do you want?" "I want to fight." And he goes, what do you mean fight?" And I hear he's fight. I want to fight. And he goes, "You know what's the sport?" I go, "Is it?" "I heard you went to Brazil." You know what I mean? Because it was big tournament. You went to
Yeah.
Brazil and fought. I heard all the rumors about him. I heard everyone told me about him. He went to Brazil and fought bare knuckle. And I was like, I want to do that. So then he explained to me that no, it's MMA is actually a sport. There's rules. There's a ref. And I was like, really? And at that time, I wanted to be a judo, like Olympic gold medalist in judo. Never achieved it. I ended up stopping judo quite early. But I remember asking him, "What can you be a world champion and stuff?" Because I want to be a world champion. I'm like, "Yeah." I went, "Sound." And he goes, what do you want to do? What do you want to do? I want to train. He went, "Yeah, but what do you want to accomplish?" And I went, "I want to be a world champion." He went, "Okay, so come next weekend." It's, I don't forget what time the class started at. So I ended up going the next week, and I thought I was taking a heart attack in the class. Um, Absolutely awful. No fitness whatsoever. I was a fat kid. I just wanted to fight. But I did judo, so I thought I was half hard. Got my absolute bollocks knocked in. I think Michael Heaney was there. Peter Duncan, Anthony McElroy, Stringer, um, Daniel Abril. They all beat the piss out of me. And I was only a wee kid there. I was 15 years old. They were all grown men. And I tried having a go, but it was awful, obviously. So I kept it up for a few years. And then I had my first fight at 17. And I kept fighting for Tom until I was 21. And when I was 21, I got picked for the Ultimate Fighter. And I went to the Ultimate Fighter in Las Vegas. And I fought against a guy called Mike Rio. And at that stage of my game, I had a bit of a top game on the ground, grappling wise, but I had no guard game. I didn't really know. Nobody taught me how to get up from a takedown. Nobody
Yeah.
taught me. You're not really in freestyle wrestling. You're not taught how to get up from a takedown. In freestyle wrestling, you base yourself out and you don't let yourself get turned. You don't have to scramble. Whereas in collegiate wrestling and American wrestling, you have to scramble, which is a big advantage,
Well,
which I didn't have.
Yeah, I remember actually. You would probably. I was gone from training in Tom's. That's where obviously where I started out too. I was gone from Tom's whenever you had arrived. Not that long away actually, because I remember still training with Dan and Michael and Anthony and all were there still.
Yep.
But I think obviously the wrestling coaching in there changed a bit with Dave Finlay not coaching as much, because one of the
Yeah.
first things that we did with Dave was, when your goal in wrestling is to get to your feet as fast as possible, and
Yeah.
that was instilled in us from the very first moment you learned how to complete. Which my first takedown was actually a high clinch, and then you went into
Mhm.
double legs, and you know what training with Dave's like. It's literally the closest thing to being dead,
Yeah.
but still being
Right. Yeah.
alive.
Yeah.
So this was drilled into you. So I don't know, maybe you didn't, you maybe got tail end of that, but for me,
Never. Never.
yeah, and I think it did change a good wee bit. I was focused more, and in chumps out at that time, all the guys had such difficult to deal with offensive wrestling. It was fucking awful to deal with from people.
Yeah. Well, Tom's wrestling was amazing coaching.
Oh
Like
yeah, yeah,
especially back then, his wrestling coaching was unbelievable. And as a
yeah.
coach, um,
Good, a
but
really good personal
I think
motivator too.
absolutely, and a great person, like a big
Mm-hmm.
inspiration to me, like who I am today is because of him. But as far as there's a lot of tactical elements that I was missing at that stage,
Mm-hmm.
and I wasn't really developing. I did a little bit of BJJ with Sebastian Torres,
Yeah.
so I did train a little bit off my back, but it was nowhere near the level. And I fought in the fighter, got a little bit exposed. I didn't keep to my game plan. My game plan was to take Mike Rio down and surprise him,
Mm-hmm.
but instead, the day before the fight, Dana White had a meeting, and he said, "Just look." He came into the room actually, and I shouted out, "Fucking hell, he's bigger in real life!" And everyone started laughing, and I thought I was hilarious. And then Dana White had like a big mood on him. He walked in, like angry. And I thought to myself, he hasn't taken that as a joke at all. And so he goes, "Look, you can joke all you want, you can have a laugh all you want, but the more you've got to fight." It was the first ever show that was live on Fox, Fighter 15 live. So it was live. So it was a big deal. So he's like basically saying, "Look, you've got to go in there and fight hard." And I remember thinking to myself, "Well, fucking, I'll show you. I'll show you." And I thought, it was 1 5 minute round. I thought, I'm just going to swing for 5 minutes
Mm-hmm.
nonstop. The game plan the whole time was get takedown. Do you know what I mean? It was grind fights out. It was hit people on the ground. It was ground and pound. So I kind of abandoned the game plan and went in just trying to swing. And he ended up getting put on my back and I struggled. And he ended up getting caught in the rear naked choke, which which sucked. It was a big breaker. So I went backstage and the producer of the show, a guy called Gary DeFranco,
Mm-hmm.
said to me, "Here, Ali, are you going back to Belfast? Like, where are you flying to?" And I went, what do you mean? You can fly me anywhere? He goes, "Yeah, I can fly you anywhere you want." And I remember thinking, "Fuck, really?" So I was thinking of all the places I could go to. I was thinking I'd go to Canada, go and trade TriStar. I could go and train because I had connections there. Had years ago was meant to take me there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I could have went to Greg Jackson's. I was thinking they have to trees. You could stay there for a while. I could go to Team Quest again because I trained in Team Quest for a few weeks. Um, and then I thought, nah, I can't. There's only one place I want to go, and that's Liverpool. I want to train in Carbon because I trained there for 6 weeks in 2010. And the standard was unbelievable. And the only reason I didn't move in 2010 was because I was engaged back home. I had like issues back home. I had a few things I had to sort out, so I never really moved. So I engaged in other areas. So I ended up not moving. A big regret of mine. So I thought, fuck, this is my opportunity to move. So I went straight from the Ultimate Fighter to Liverpool. That's when I started fighting, you know. But yeah, that was a big change for me. Like I should have
That's
went
a
a lot
huge,
earlier.
huge change. But even before the Ultimate Fighter, though, like that was when you had won the Cage Wars. Do you remember?
Yeah,
Yeah. So I mean, you're doing yourself down there really, because I remember that day, and that was a single night tournament,
yeah, yeah.
and you
It was a
went
good moment.
in. That was a fantastic, fantastic performance. The whole day from you was brilliant. it was literally like there was nobody that was going to get past you. There wasn't a single guy in that room that I thought could have beat you on the day. And
Yeah,
that was a huge show. If you remember rightly, that was in famous King's Hall in Belfast. First ever mixed
no,
martial arts. Oh,
that was the Odyssey.
Odyssey.
That was
That's right. It was the
first one, the Odyssey.
first ever
Yeah.
MMA show in the Odyssey, and
Mm-hmm.
it was absolutely outstanding. You were phenomenal. I think Mark Curry fought in that
Thank
as
you.
well. Do you remember?
He
Friend
did.
of the
He did.
show. I did Mark's
Yeah.
corner in that day. Mark had a fantastic finish as well. But you went
Right.
on
He did
then
very
to.
well.
He was brilliant. Mark is ridiculous.
Mark was
But
talented.
oh, holy shit, incredibly talented. But you then went on to win the whole tournament. What do you remember about the tournament?
You know what? The main thing with that tournament, and I was thinking about this the other day. I was actually writing it down because it was in the right notes. It was the main thing of that tournament. Wasn't the tournament. The tournament was signed. You see, when I got the tournament, everything was fine. It was the training prior to that, because this kind of links to the story about training Carbon for 6 weeks. Because when I came back from Carbon, I'd lost a couple of fights because I had a broken ankle in the first fucking those fight anyway. I ended up losing, obviously. So I came back home, and I remember I ballooned up to like 98 kilo.
I remember the giant
was
alley days.
massive. I was fucking huge. I was just lifting weights, and I was going to Chinese all you can eat after training, and just sitting there for like a couple of hours eating like a fucking absolute retard. But I ended up getting massive. And then Paddy went to me, "Here, do you want to enter this tournament?" And I went, I'm 98 kilo, Paddy. And you're like, "Yeah, do you want to enter it?" I was like, "Yeah, of course I do." He's like, "Okay, well, you can enter it, but if you don't make weight, I've got someone to replace you." And it was Michael Reed. Michael Reed was going to replace
That's
me if
right.
I didn't.
I remember that, yeah.
If anyone else missed weight, it would have been all right. He wasn't replacing him. It was only for me. He was only there for me in case I didn't. Because Paddy knew how heavy he was. It was understandable. So I remember I was training, and people are going to think I'm bullshit here. This isn't a lie. Because my philosophy behind it was, in Carbon, I was never going to replicate that amount of technical work. So the only thing I could do would replicate the amount of hard work that was being put in. And in Carbon, it's not 6 hours a day you can train. So I was thinking, right, well, in order to make up for that, I need to get 7, 8 hours a day training in. So I was coming in the morning, doing weights, doing a circuit, then I was doing pads, then I was going to roll with whoever would roll with me, like fucking anyone I could get. And then I would get someone in the middle of the day and wrestle. I would drill wrestling for about 2, 3 hours, and then that night I would do another 3 hours. So every day was built around just trying to fill it with this random shit. There's no structure to it, but
Yeah.
it absolutely ruined me physically. But I was in the best shape of my life. How I recovered from it, I have no idea, because it was past exhaustion stage of like adapting to the training. It was too much, but I got through it, and I ended up being the best shape of my life. And by the time it got to fight night, I was just happy to be fighting, because even the weight cut, I had to get Peter Duncan to lock me in the sauna for the weight cut, because I had like 7 kilo to lose in like
I remember the
8
dramatic.
hours.
I thought it was a lot more than 7. I probably have told this story and I've exaggerated.
No, it was more. It was 12 on the week, but
Yeah.
it was 7 in one sitting. It was 7 in one sitting.
That's insane. The amount of damage on a cellular level you probably did to your body that day was fucking insane.
Proofs in the pudding now, like look at the
Yeah, but I know. Well, look, you and I both. But that was that was the bigger battle. I think then for you was to A, make the weight, and B, try and replicate what you were doing in Cabon beforehand. And you rightly pointed out there, you know now, and I know now, the things we did back then were insane, completely insane.
Oh, absolutely.
You wouldn't have done it. You would never instruct another living creature to do that now.
No. But I'll tell you what, Andy, look, I would never take it back, because the amount of mental fortitude I gained from that is undeniable. Like I will not do a weight cut with anyone else now. I do it by myself, because I know it's going to be hard, and I like the mental aspect I'm going to gain from it. Like doing that weight cut, getting him to lock me in the sauna, trying to get through them struggles, self-doubt, the voices in your head, trying to get them away, and then try and get yourself up, exhausted, but still trying to push on and cut the weight. You can't get that from anywhere else.
Oh, like, you're never going to find that. You're not going to find that in a weight room and wrestling practice or anything. You might get a bit of it out of wrestling practice, but you're never going to find those demons lurking around your own head, other than in that scenario, you're not. It's a
So
fucking crazy thing to do.
it's an interesting thing because I was reading about it the other day in a book called How Bad You Want It by a guy called Matt Fitzgerald. And he was talking about this thing in the brain called AOC, or I don't even know what it stands for, but it basically it's what comes it's what resilience comes from. So in your brain, it's how you
Mm-hmm.
build resilience in this part of the brain. And the only way you can build that is through endurance work. So a lot of struggling endurance work or trauma. The only two ways you can develop that sort of resilience.
Mm-hmm.
So by going in a sauna and absolutely killing yourself, it's not healthy. But I tell you what, it's
Build.
definitely helping with resilience.
Yeah.
100% it helps with resilience because I wouldn't have been able to do it otherwise. So now, it wouldn't be an issue. Like I regularly cut, I can cut 7 kilo without an issue now. Like I
Mm.
wouldn't do it. It's not intelligent, but it wouldn't be an issue.
No, no, and I think I found something similar with the resilience aspect of, I suppose, competing in combat sports does, it builds a terrible amount of resilience, but I found that with long distance running,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
there's a, and I always draw a parallel between combat sports and running, and a lot of people don't see it, but you train with a team.
yeah,
You have to do the harder work is normally done on your own, in your own mind, and
mm,
on the day it's a single participation performance. And I always find that there's a great parallel between the two, and you go through the same mental struggles where you go, I want to go home, I want to stop, this is too sore, that's injured,
yeah,
this is I'm feeling unwell, I feel sick, I'm tired, and your brain goes, you can't do it, you fat fuck, just go home. And you keep
yeah,
on repeating these same unnecessarily cruel mantras to yourself. You're used to just go home, you're never making it, why are you doing this to yourself, just go home. And then
yeah,
after a period of time, those voices are changed to, I'm going to fucking do this. I'm going to show you. I'm going to be better than this. I'm better than you tomorrow. I'm going to be
yeah.
better again. And the next thing you know, you've done it and you're like, that was amazing. And then the next time you're on the same path and that voice creeps into your head, you can go, beat it. I beat you last time. I'm going to
Yeah,
beat you again. And that
yeah,
resilience is always, and I find that that's always there now, that you won't lapse again.
100%. I mean, like the weird thing about it is, I don't know if anyone else relates to this as a fighter, but as a fighter, when you're in them hard rounds or you're doing hard pads or you're really pushing it in the circuit, you tend to talk to yourself. You have a voice in your head that's saying, fucking quit, slow down. And the other voice in your head says, stop being a little fucking bitch and get up and do
Yeah.
it. And so the problem with me is I struggle sometimes to keep the voices in my head. I'll sometimes say out loud, oh, fuck off. And people are like, who are you talking to? Just talking to myself. People think you're a nutcase. But it's because I'm having that internal dialogue in my head. I'm telling it to fuck off. And people are like, why are
Strange
you
that
getting
you
angry? Why are you getting angry? It's like, no, I'm talking to myself. Don't worry, it's not about you.
Yeah, it's strange that you said that, but what I with fighting 100%, because it's not a natural act. It's not natural to fucking climb into a metal cage in your underwear and fight another man for money. It's fucking not. I don't care what anybody says. It's a weird thing, right? But and every fighter suffers from self doubt, and I try to make myself the calmest human being on the competition day, right? But
Yeah,
about 2 or 3 weeks before, I'm talking about talking to yourself. What I used to have to do was basically just stand in front of a mirror and empty out all the negativity that I had, which was like, you're shit, you're rubbish, you're not going to make
yeah,
it, you're fat fuck, you're all going to get knocked out. I know you're going to get knocked out, your ground game shit. And I would repeat this over and over again, but every day, they would become less and less and less, and the anxiety would drop
yeah,
and diminish and decrease until you got to the day, because you'd heard it all before, so it doesn't matter to you. Your mind had
absolutely.
built up a resilience, a hardness, a difficulty that nobody's going to beat you harder than you beat yourself ever. So nobody's going to hurt you more than you can hurt yourself ever in life. And I think that that's where that resilience came from me. So when it came to fight day, I was like, I'm fucking pretty relaxed. I can go for a wee doze in the corner. I'm feeling pretty good about myself here
Yeah,
today.
yeah, yeah. Well, that's an underutilized aspect of all sports, I think, and that's the mental aspect of visualization and
Mm-hmm.
just that internal dialogue. Because without it, you're fucking useless. I mean, it was Yogi Berra said like the game's were 90% mental and the other half physical.
Yeah.
Like it's that famous saying. I'm butchering that saying, like, but it's something like that. But it's true.
And it's
It's
totally true.
in
Like, I
all
mean, you
sports.
can.
Most
But
people
how many people have you met in any gym that you've ever been in, or in any walk of physical competitive existence that you've been in, who look amazing in the gym, but when it comes to competition day, their dog stubs its toe, their car gets a flat
You know
windscreen or
what?
something, and they never come. They don't turn up,
Just don't turn up. The
or
best
they turn
example I
up
can
but
give,
they want out and they find a way to quit.
they
But
find a way to quit.
yeah,
See, the beautiful example of that is Colin McKee, because Colin McKee didn't enjoy it, but he was
no,
fucking amazing. Turned it
yeah,
on. He turned it on. He was special, but he just didn't enjoy it.
no,
Another good example of that is Mindy, Big Mindy Curve.
yeah,
Awful on fight day, absolute, but it's a freak of nature. He's amazing in the gym.
yeah.
Amazing in the gym. Technically, he's developing. He's still at the development stage,
Mm-hmm.
but he could beat any man in the world probably just based off his physicality.
It just, well, based on his
Mentally,
physicality, he is a terrifying creature.
oh, he's fucking scary. Um, and I
But
can even relate to myself to a certain extent because whilst like especially since the Camp Carbon, I mean, since 2010, my record's 11-3, and I've two of them losses or decisions instead of one. So I've only lost one legit fight against Brandon Maclean since 2010. So, but like even before that, I can relate to like having fights where I had self doubt because I knew in my head I wasn't doing enough. I just wasn't getting the technical work. I was having them little doubts in my head, and that's when I was getting caught in rear naked chokes and stuff like that.
yeah, because your
You know
mind
what I
isn't
mean? So,
focused on the game in front of you. You're not living. I know it sounds it's all in fashion at the minute. You go, wow, live in the fucking moment. But if you're not in fighting, that's one of the places where I found that you could get into
yep,
a flow and actually exist in that moment there and then. Because if you didn't, you lose concentration. It's a pube
yep,
thickness
yep,
between winning and losing. 80% of the time you're in a cage, you're in 80% of the time you're boxing ring or on an MMA mat or on a judo mat or wherever. It's just that thin fucking pube of distance between you getting woken up with an oxygen mask on or you being the guy who does that.
yeah. It's a flow state. I
Yeah.
was reading a book called Becoming Superman.
It's called The Rise
Becoming
of the
Superman.
Superman. It's
The Rise,
brilliant.
something like that. It's a good book, isn't it?
Yeah, I
Talks
have
about
it.
the
It's The
flow
Rise of
state and it
Superman.
talks
It's
about a guy.
fantastic.
That's a brilliant book. A guy calls, so I don't know if you remember the story about Danny Way. Danny Way was like one of the best skateboarders in the world. Broke his ankle, fractured it, and then they were like, okay, we have to stop. He was doing this big, massive jump on the ramp.
It was jumping
He
over
broke
the
his
Great Wall
ankle.
of China.
That's what it was, yeah. He broke
Yeah.
his ankle and he went, nah, fuck you, I'm going to do it again. And he just ignored it and just went on and got it done. So it can't be done. It's all mental. But
Yeah.
a lot of the time, we just tell ourselves not. Like, something I'm studying a lot at the minute is pain science.
Hmm.
The reasons for that is because I for a long time, suffered with my back. That's why I haven't got paid. So I want to understand it a little bit more. And the basic thing about pain science is like we don't really fully understand it. Like pain is just a brain. It's not
Mm-hmm.
actually physical. It's a brain. It's 100% our brain.
It's,
There's a
it's
guy called
alerting you
John
to danger.
Storno. It's alerting you to danger, but it doesn't
Mm-hmm.
actually exist. Like that's not harmful. Like John Storno, a guy who's a back specialist, says that 90% of back injuries, or at least somewhere around that number, are all mental. It's not from the back pain. He says herniated discs and stuff like that. There's no links to the actual back pain from that. He explained in his book, Heat in the Back, that a lot of back pain comes from the subconscious brain. We've got repressed anger.
Mm-hmm.
And that repressed anger causes oxygen deprivation in the back, the muscles, and
It's interesting.
the nerves. And it tends to go towards the shoulders, the neck, and the lower back. That's where it tends to go to. So that sort of repressed emotion, the anger, sort of has to go somewhere. So it ends up going to a muscle,
Mm-hmm.
stiff, sore. And he explains in his book, like, if you learn to ignore that pain, if you can learn to just say, no, fuck you, I know you're mental, so I'm going to ignore you. He says a lot of people can overcome a lot of pain that way. So I
Mm-hmm.
don't know if that's the same with every injury, but with the back, I don't know.
Yeah,
Wait,
I know you suffer from quite crippling back pain, and I did for a number of years. I have herniated discs in my low back and a bulge disc in my neck, and I know what level that, and I know I have a. This isn't bullshit. I think we all have a high pain tolerance due to just how we've
yeah,
lived our lives. And I think that my pain tolerance is very, very good. And I wouldn't have been able to run marathons with herniated discs in my back if I didn't just tell that
definitely
pain
not.
to piss off. You know, if you can't just tell that to go away and get over it,
Yeah.
There's something
Yeah.
there. There is something there about the mental aspect of the control of pain.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I mean, like as you say, you've run marathons. I mean, running's the worst thing for your back. The fact you can do that is just the fact you're saying, "No, fuck you, I'm gonna run
Yeah.
regardless." Like the last 4 weeks that I've been running every day. Before that, I could barely walk, just because I read this book, and I read this book and went, you know what, I'm being a little bitch here. Just fucking run.
I would love
Started
to.
running, and it's pretty fun.
Running was an escape for me, and now I have arthritis in my right hip. I just simply can't run at the minute. I know after us just talking about control of pain, I'm waiting for a hip
Yeah,
replacement, but
hip
unfortunately
replacement's a bit different.
it's slightly different, and it's shit because it's the
Yeah,
only thing I really kind of want to do. You know, I can do virtually
yeah,
everything else, but I just can't fucking run. And it's driving me around the bend. So, but when I do, I was talking to Stephanie yesterday about this. Whenever I get the hip done, I will definitely run a marathon again. And you're like, no, you won't. Watch this fucking space. I will do another
I
marathon.
believe you.
If it's only ever one,
Yeah,
I'm still doing it. You know, and that's just to get over
100%.
that hump and hurdle to say
Good
I've
lad.
proven myself that I can definitely do this.
Yeah,
At the end of it, I'll need another fucking hip replacement, but you know.
yeah, yeah. You need one the other hip,
Yeah.
but
So
yeah, it's like
once you got through that Cage Wars tournament, that was the first crowning of a Cage Wars lightweight champion.
yeah,
And that led you.
yeah.
Cage Wars was a gigantic show. All over Great Britain at the time. It was brilliant. Shows in Scotland, and Portsmouth was the first ever show. It had shows down south. It shows in Belfast. That one, the new one, was in the Odyssey in Belfast, and then from there, that was your move to the Ultimate Fighter.
So no, I had a few fights before them, and they're interesting to be fair, because after that fight, after being in Cage Wars, I went back to Kabul to train for a few weeks. And that's the same as the last time I got my back kicked in. But then I came back and I ended up fighting in South Africa. But I ended up fighting in South Africa.
Forgot about that. That was AFC, wasn't it?
No, that was Fight Force, but they were the
Fight
rivals.
Force. Yes.
Yeah, they were rivals. But they had the number one welterweight at the time, a guy called Martin van Staden. He's still a good fighter and he's still fighting. Knocks guys out. Great fighter. But I ended up going over there to fight him. He was the number one welterweight in the world at the time. Number one welterweight in South Africa at the time. So we ended up going over to fight him. And I remember being outside the venue on fight day. South Africa was in Durban. It was a lovely country, beautiful. But on fight day, some guy came up to, it was me and Liam McKibben fighting. The guy came up to Liam McKibben and went, you're fighting such and such. Yeah, you'll win quite easy. And he looked at me and goes, oh, you're fighting Martin van Staden. No, you're going to lose. And I went, I won't, you know. And he went, no, you're going to lose. He's good. I went, yeah, no, he's good, but I'm not going to lose. So I remember just thinking, you cheeky little bastard. So anyway, I ended up having a bit of a scrabble with him and ended up taking him down north-south, choking him. I didn't want to risk much, especially when you fight in a different country on someone else's show. You don't want to risk going to a judge. You don't want to risk doing anything. You want to get it over with quick and done. Yeah, so I thought, just get a north-south, get it over and done with, because I wasn't strong. So I ended up getting that one, and then I had another 4-man tournament. And then after that, so I had 2 4-man tournaments. You see, so I had this one was in Birmingham, and it was a grand to the winner, but no one else got paid. So if you didn't win the tournament, you didn't get paid. So I remember it was me and Tom who flew over. I made weight in Belfast, took a video of the way and all that, and then we flew over. I think I rehydrated on fucking some sort of USN recovery shake, and I was eating chicken nuggets or something. I mean, completely wrong, but I ended up flying over on the fight day with like a $5 in my pocket, and I remember saying to Tom, "Look, I don't win this, we're not going to be able to get home. I don't care. I'm going to win this tournament at all costs." So I had like a $5, and I think I bought a Subway with the $5. And I remember going to the venue. And at that stage, I used to wrap my own hands. So backstage, was wrapping my own hands. Not like Tom can wrap hands, but I prefer the wrapping stuff. There's a way I seen Colin from Carbon doing them, so I used to copy it. So I would wrap my own hands, and then I had the first fight. It's a big guy, like, ended up lateral dropping him, no stressing him. And I went backstage, and there's 2 other guys on the other side of the bracket. They were watching the fight. And one of the other guys came in the change room I was talking to his coaches saying, "Oh, yeah, just seen one of your fights there. Um, this big fucking crazy Irish guy's fighting. He looks strong. He looks strong. He looks good." And his coaches kind of like going like that.
That's him. That's the fucking.
Such as he's sitting there, and I was there laughing. And he realised what he was saying, and I was sitting there, so he ended up walking out the change room. But he ended up losing this next fight, obviously, and he was shit back. But then I ended up fighting a guy called Dale Hardiman, who's quite a good fighter. He's a physio now, actually. And he ended up north-south choking him as well. So at that stage, I had like 4 north-south chokes in a row. So then when it came around to them doing the Ultimate Fighter and the trials, I went over, Stringer went over, Lewis went over, and I ended up getting picked based off a little bit of my record, but a little bit of the fact I was winning by north-south choke, and I kind of like my personality as well. So
I have been the victim of your north-south choke, and it is fucking horrendous.
many people have. They don't
I was
expect it.
I was talking to Chris about this, and I was like, I actually remember you getting me with it. You, me, and Mark were training one day, and I remember getting into this. I was like, I'll get out of this. This is really loose. There's no way you're not getting me with this. And literally, as I was saying, you're not getting me with this, in my mind, I was like, oh, you seem to be tapping. Oh, that's right, you're passing out, you dick. Whatever, it was just this instant power, this instant squeeze that my brain hadn't really registered just yet until it was borderline too late. I was like, right, okay, now I see why he's tapping, flipping everybody with this. It was just, that's fine, pretty loose. Oh shit, it's too late. That was just excellent.
It's an unusual position because people don't expect to get tapped from that position unless they're getting north south. If your arms are tucked in, and your head's tucked in, expect not to get tapped from that position, and it's unusual. You don't see it very often. So yeah, I tend to get it quite a lot, and I've got set up here. I can literally do it from half guard. I can literally have someone with half guard if I really want. So it's all about the body position and how I set them up. So but yeah, the reason I started doing that north-south joke was because Mark Scanlon, one fighters, Team Cabon, 2010 again, when I went to Cabon for 6 weeks, he showed me the north-south joke. We drilled it in a class, and it was the only thing I remembered. It was like the main grapple thing I remembered, and I remember thinking, I can do that. That's quite a good submission. So when I went back to Belfast, I just started drilling it every day. And that's the only reason I got good at it. But back then, I used to squeeze. With the choke. You see, now when I do it, I can do it with one arm because I don't squeeze.
Yeah, it's just technique.
Pressure of a shoulder. Yeah, so it's taken me a while to be fair, like anything. It's about evolution. So through time, developed it, and now I can do it with quite much of a squeeze now. But yeah, that was my favorite submission for a long time.
It was fantastic. Like, I mean, you just used the term evolution there, and I was going to say, like, the evolution of Ali Maclean has come now to where you are full time in Cabon as an assistant coach, really, aren't you now?
Yeah, well, I don't want to brand myself as that though, because I still want to fight. I still have massive aspirations to fight. But it's hard to look away from it. But yes, I do like I like to help the lads. I wouldn't say I'm a coach. I would never say that because
what I do is
I am a man. I'm an assistant. I help the lads.
As I said, assistant coach. So what I will call you coach because when you returned to Belfast a year and a half ago, you and I did coach together for a bit at IFS.
Right.
So I will say that you did fantastically there, and you're really, really highly thought of by everybody in the room. It was a different style of coaching, and your personality shone through with it. And I think that, and I talked to Chris about this too. Whenever people are coaching, if you allow your own personality to leak into your coaching style, rather than being rigid and full of bullshit, people warm to you, and people warm to you quite well. And I think your coaching style knitted perfectly into that class and into that environment. And there's people there today who still talk about you. So it's I'll take the mantle and call you a coach there straight away. But so you have still aspirations of fighting. Is Ali Maclean healthy at the minute?
You know what? Only the last few weeks have been healthy. For like the past year, I've been crippling back pain. I don't know why. I can't explain it because I did rest it. I've done 3 or 4 camps with Darren Till, the sparring.
Yeah.
I went to Vegas with him when he was fighting for Woodley. I went to the Wonderboy camp. I did the Masvidal camp pretty much by myself. He didn't have a lot of training partners. I was in every day for him. Grundy was there obviously, but like I think he was injured at one point. I think he had a neck injury, so he wasn't doing a lot at that time. So, you know, I've been consistently training and sparring. And then last summer, I think it was last summer, after the Master camp, I snapped my ankle in the last day of camp. The last hard day of camp, I snapped my ankle. I was wearing wrestling boots, and the wrestling boots stayed in the mat, and my whole body moved. And I went over and snapped. And then I just thought, you know what, this is a sign that I'm not meant to do this no more. Maybe I'm not meant to fight no more. Maybe I'm not meant to even train no more. I just get fed up and depressed. So we ended up stopping pads and I stopped sparring. I still grappled because I wanted to get my black belt. But I stopped sparring. I stopped doing pads. Because to do pads, I want to spar. And if I want to spar, I want to fight.
Yeah.
So I just went teetotal off it. That's like a drug addict. I stopped it altogether. And then at the start of the year, I moved back to Belfast. I intended to move back to Belfast. But it only lasted like a week. Because it was like, fuck, I miss the lads. I miss training. I just miss being in the environment of the gym. So we ended up coming back, but I haven't done like proper pads and stuff for like a year just because of the injuries, just being fed up. And now with this coronavirus sort of being here, I think to myself, like, what do I want to do? And I do want to fight still. So it's just whether my body can hold up or not. And the only way to tell that is through training. I'm massive aspirations to still fight, but the Stringer's a big inspiration. The fact he was able to come back from shoulder injury. Paul Kelly's a big inspiration. He was able to come back after like 7 years away. So I've got a lot of inspiration there for me.
Yeah, I mean, those two guys are good examples. Chris is a brilliant example. I mean, we talked about this a wee bit as well. Chris is now basically in the prime of his life. He's fit and healthy. He looks the part. He's got his weight cut down to virtual perfection. He told me he didn't suffer too badly and he just hit the weight on. His performance was fucking brilliant. Against a very scary looking dude. And you talk about Paul Kelly, a man who's been through some horrendous adversity. He's now back on the scene, which is good. And there's the Pro Bellum show now basically making a home in Liverpool too. So, I mean, there's opportunities there for somebody like you who's entertaining as a fighter and who is fit and healthy and has that tie to such a massive, massive camp like Cameron.
Yeah, well, that's the goal. Like, but this has only been the last few weeks, like, because I've been mostly avoiding most of the hard training in the gym because I've only been grappling. To be honest with you, Andy, the odd bit of pads, but not much. Just really grappling because I had aspirations to get my black. It's really one of the other reasons I came back to Liverpool was to get my black belt in lucha libre and Brazilian jiu-jitsu because I'm a brown belt in both at the minute. So that was kind of like the goal, but like. People keep saying, why don't you keep eating jiu-jitsu? Why don't you keep eating this? And like, I have no interest in grappling around with another man. I want, if I'm not getting punched in the face, it's not worthwhile for me.
Yeah.
Why would I go to a leisure centre to go around? I want you to twat me in the head.
I think you have that mentality. It's a proper. Chris and I talk about this as well. Like you're another one of those guys like Chris, like Greg Loughran, like Mickey Young, like Aidan Marin, the guys of that era who are fighters.
Yeah.
You know, if you go to watch Ali Maclean fight, you're getting a fucking fight. You go watch Chris Stringer fight, you're getting a fucking fight. You know, and that's the era.
I've had all sorts of fights though, where some fights have been reserved and haven't really done a lot because I've been trying to grind out the fight. I've had fights that have turned into a scrap and made them way harder than I've had a mixture. But if they have like a favorite sort of way to fight, it's just having a go.
Yeah.
It's reckless abandon. But the problem with that is, and for a long time, that was a problem when I first came to Cabon, I was a little bit sort of insecure about striking because it was just a high level striking gym.
I was just saying, no wonder. You know, you're insecure about striking. No fucking wonder.
I felt like I don't want to embarrass Colin here, so I'm just going to take the fight down. So I would vastly for a lot of fights, not even strike. So it's only been my last two fights where I've started mixing everything up. It was a shame that I wouldn't be able to keep the momentum. But my last fight against Ellis Hampton, it was 2016 now. Like, it was the first fight I ever felt comfortable mixing up everywhere. So yeah, but yes, always. No point fighting unless it's exciting, is there?
No, and again, I use this terminology all the time. That remember, this is the entertainment industry, and it's a popularity contest. So you need to be entertaining and you need to be popular, or else nobody can get fucking, Ali Maclean might grind out another uninteresting, boring win against the cage, but nobody cares. Whereas Andy
No.
Burrows might come out and get knocked dead in about the first minute, but after a swinging, crazy fight, people are going to remember me.
Yeah.
They're not going to remember you, even though I come away with a loss,
Yeah.
and you come away with the win. And
Yeah.
that is the nature of the beast. That's the nature of fight sport.
That is the sport. I mean, a great example of that sort of like reckless abandon style is the old Justin Gaethje. Like
Yeah.
he was fucking unbelievable. Like that's a dream fight for any fighter. Anyone who's a real fighter will turn around and say, "I want to fight that guy."
Yeah.
You know you're in for a war, and
Well,
that's sick. That should excite you as a fighter.
That Tony Ferguson fight that fell through, I immediately, whenever I saw that fight come out, I went, Gaethje knocks him dead in the first round.
Very high chance he does. Very high chance.
Yeah.
Unless it goes to the later rounds, Tony can win the later rounds because of his relentless cardio and
Yeah,
craziness.
that's going to fall apart one day, though. That cardio for him and that chin that everybody talks about, that's going to fall apart. I mean, you look at the Lando Venata fight, you look at the Pettis fight. These are two times when he's been exposed, and I think Gaethje beats Venata and beats Pettis.
I think he does. Yeah, and I think if Gaethje hits you, you're staying down.
Yeah, the Poirier fight, Gaethje and Poirier fight. Dear fuck, what a fight!
Right.
Horrendous. But
you
even his first fight.
Poirier is. You forget how good Poirier is.
Yeah.
And then you look back at what McGregor did to Poirier.
That was. I don't even count that. I don't even count that because if they fought now, that's not. It
would be a different
fight.
story. Yeah. I don't know. I think McGregor would get in his head. But I would love to see it. Don't get me wrong. I would love to see it. I think Poirier is an animal that way. There's rumors and ATTs that he knocks everyone out. ATT, him and Masvidal are like the enforcers of the gym. Him, Masvidal, and what's the other guy fought in Bellator, the judo guy, Hector Lombard.
Oh God, imagine that!
Just imagine them in the gym, just knocking everyone out. But it's like Terry back in the day in our gym.
Yeah.
Terry was the man. He dropped me first time I ever sparred with Terry was in 2010. He dropped me 6 times in a round through leg kicks and body shots. And I kept getting up. And the only reason I kept getting up was if Cole was in the ring laughing. And I was thinking, I can't embarrass myself here. I have to, at least I can get up and show I've got heart. The only thing I can show is I've got heart. So I'll just keep getting up. He kept dropping me a leg kicks and body shots. He was unbelievable. Like, such a nice guy as well.
He was immensely
almost apologized afterwards.
Yeah, he's so talented, fucking ridiculously talented. So you are now you got to train. I don't know anything about music, by the way, so this isn't me being a dick. And I say the same thing to Chris. It's a guy, and I believe I've done a bit of research now, and he's a singer for a group called The Script. Isn't that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, he just wanted somewhere to train,
What's his name? Sorry, I'm chipping in.
Danny, I forget his name now. He's gone blank. Danny from The Script, I call him.
Yeah.
Danny, what's his name?
He's gonna love you now. He's gonna go, you fucker.
He's gonna think I'm an absolute dickhead. Oh shit, I've gone off. I've got his name on the phone. Danny O'Donoghue. That's the one. Danny O'Donoghue. I couldn't remember that. Yeah, he's member of The Script, lead singer. He was also on The Voice.
Right.
Quite a well-known fella.
Yeah, he'd be really, really famous, but I just don't know anything about music, so it's like it's useless to me.
No,
when I saw you training him, I was like, I don't know who that guy is, but I know he's famous.
Famous, yeah. It was a good experience. I mean, I trained with him. I did train him. He lives in Ireland, so obviously it's logistic issues stop him training regularly. But I train him. I train a few Hollyoaks actors as well. So I train the TV show Hollyoaks, Warner, Ada Woodward. So a few of them come and train with me as well. So I'm trying to get myself in that celebrity niche.
No, here, listen, why the fuck not? I mean, there's plenty of people out there who have made a massive living out of doing that. And none of that's not that you don't deserve it either. You deserve to get something out of this sport. That's what Chris and I were talking about that too. It's nice to see people of a certain generation in MMA getting something out of the sport rather than, because you put so much in. You give your body to it, you give your brain to it, you give your friggin' life to it.
Else out of it.
I gave my full 20s to this fucking sport and got zero out of it. You know what? I did get something that's not true. I got happiness out of it because it was absolutely amazing, So
yeah, absolutely.
Well, amazing life experience.
A lot of the time, like in your stinger stuff, Stringer not so much. Part of Stringer's problems early on was he would take fights for money.
Yeah, and
I would
also he would have
I would
accepted a
fight
fight on a minute's notice.
on a minute's notice. The game is
Mm-hmm.
fuck. The gamest person I know. The gamest person I know. I love the guy, but he just made mistakes like that. So I learned early on not to do it for money. So I took the opposite end. So I would almost fight for free. I fought for free loads of times. Like I went to Brazil to fight, and I ended up paying like $1,000 because I had to fly there, and I took the cheapest flight possible. I was in the airport for 3 days. Like I was traveling for 3 days in the airport, sleeping in the airport, just so I could fly cheap. And then I spent like a couple of £100 or something like food and stuff like that. But I ended up paying $1,000 just to fight in Brazil. So like I was a complete opposite in spectrum. I'd have fought for free. You give me a fight and say, look, you've got to pay your own way. I'd be all right. Well, you know,
Yeah, I
because it
think
wasn't about money for me. It was never about money or experience. It was about
no,
the
and
actual winning.
whenever I was competing as well, there was no money. And when people say there was no money in the sport, they think that of course there was guys and girls making money, but they were at the top of the fucking tree. Dickheads
Yeah,
like me, basically,
yeah,
your pro fight was you turned up and you got a hotel and maybe somebody bought your food.
yeah,
And you got
yeah.
like a plane ticket or something, you got travel expenses and you got your food and they got a hotel. And it was just dumb because this is a pretty fucking cool thing to do. Plus, I'm not going to ever see Brazil. I'm not going to see Finland or Sweden or Hong Kong or wherever
That's it.
these places you ended up. That kid like me is never going to go there. And then you went, oh, I am here. I am this guy.
Well,
And
yeah.
it's great life experience and great fun. So I wouldn't take anything away from that. And I was the same as yourself. I didn't quibble about money. I didn't care about that. I didn't make a single penny. In fact, it cost me, I don't even want to think many thousands and thousands of pounds it cost me to compete and do what I wanted to do. But you would
Yeah.
never trade that experience for anything
No.
else on planet Earth, you know. So I'm more than happy with how it's turned out for me.
Seeing the world with your fists, as Andy Ogle used to say, you get to
Yeah.
see the world with your fists.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like from the sport, I've been to America like 5 or 6 times. I've been to South Africa, um, Brazil. So, and I would have never have went to any of them places without the sport.
No, you wouldn't.
So,
No, no, absolutely not. I mean, you talked about Tom fighting at the start. I mean, I was in Tom's corner in Brazil. I didn't fight because I was injured. And
yeah,
see, in fairness, I didn't actually like the rule set. It wasn't because people go, "Oh, you're such a coward." I viewed this as a sport, and I didn't like the rule set. In that rule
yeah,
set, you were still allowed to kick in the balls. You were still allowed to
yeah.
headbutt. There was all this crazy shit. I'm like, I'm not. You know, it's just
I
not what
loved
I.
that. You know, I loved that. It was the only grid I had that I never got to fight proper bare knuckle. It was the
Yeah,
only.
I was
Like
okay,
it was
but
gone, but it was gone by the stage I was fighting. You
yeah, I mean, I was okay with it. I wouldn't have, the hand coverings didn't bother me. I mean, we did fight before, but it was like slaps and punches to the body, but your hands were bare, and
know.
you know there was all these weird rule sets. But you was never that didn't bother me. It was just the fact that somebody's going to kick you in the pickles, you know, or you know, it didn't
Yeah,
really you know, headbutts as well were something I just didn't view in a fight. People have their own views on them. I don't like them. I think it's a crazy thing to add into a sport because it becomes more just it brutalizes something that can be so
yeah,
it can be so amazing, can be so beautiful. But
yeah,
I think that you know like, there's certain people out there who it suited, and certain people definitely fucking it suited Johnny. Like it suited my brother Johnny. Clearly, he loved
oh,
it. You
yeah.
know,
Big gorilla like that, of course.
yeah. I mean, but for me, I'm like,
Yeah,
no, not very much. No, not for me. But it suited Johnny down to the ground. He loved the headbutts and kicking in the balls and fucking kicking people in the head and the ground and just all the madness that went along with that era of because people didn't know how the sport was going to go. It was like you know, and
no, yeah.
you and Chris and guys followed on from that, and I'm so glad to see that you've ended up getting somewhere good out of it and making something perfect out of it for yourself. So, with that said, with me rambling on, talking mad shit, what is the next chapter for Ali Maclean?
Well, currently I'm online coaching, so helping people achieve their weight loss and fitness goals. More general population.
Mm-hmm.
I work with a few fighters as well, but more general population people. So, sort of like the way I look at it is this: you wouldn't go to the toilet holding someone's hand. So why would you go to the gym holding someone's
Yeah,
hand? A lot of people pay for a personal trainer, they pay for a premium for a personal trainer, someone just to hold a water bottle and count the reps. For the most part, you don't need it. So, um, yeah, I online coach people now,
mm-hmm.
give them their workout routines and nutrition, try and help them achieve their goals. On top of that, it's the daily sort of accountability comes with it, like sort of like texting someone every day just to make sure they're staying on track. And
Yeah,
that's what most people need. So that's for the main part what I'm doing right now. also coaching the lads in the gym, MMA. So helping them as best I can for the fights. And the most part, my own training. So I'm trying to get my own black belt.
Yeah.
And then I'm also, I would like to fight again, but we'll see how my body holds up.
Yeah, see how the health holds up, rather than making any decision and saying, "Yeah, Ali's
I
coming
would
back."
never, I would never make announce to come back anyway. I would just like have a fight,
Mm-hmm.
not tell anyone. Do you know what I mean? I literally wouldn't tell a soul. It's not about anyone else or like the publicity, or it's just about it's a personal journey. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you say you're going to do something, you've got to do it. So I've got to see it all the way through.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If I'm healthy, you know.
If you're healthy, why the hell? I said the same thing to Chris too. If you're healthy, why would you not do it? I mean, you're healthy, you're still fit, you're life's prime, ultimately, athletically anyway. If you're injury free and you're not going to cause yourself, the cost of this shouldn't be too much more on your body than you can handle in later life. If you can put up with that, then why the hell not?
Why not? Exactly. Yeah. So,
I was saying the same thing to Chris too. At the end of our podcast, talking to Chris, can you ever see Ali making his way to Belfast and working in the gym here, or having your own facility back in Northern Ireland?
yes, but I've been back home and I prefer Liverpool. Do you know what I mean? If as long as Carbon exists and
You'll be
Colin
there.
is still coaching, I'll be there because it's hard for me to walk away from that gym. I owe him a lot because after the Ultimate Fighter, I was in a bad place. I was in a really bad place.
Yeah.
I felt like my career was done after the Ultimate Fighter. I was only 22 years old, but I felt like my career was completely done. I felt like I'd fucking embarrassed myself, and I wasn't.
Yeah, but again, that was such a. For anybody who's going to watch this on YouTube, you can see my tiny little rescue dog is so needy. She needed to sit in my knee there. She was getting a wee bit worried what was happening.
Yes.
So she needed to see what was happening. So this is my tiny little rescue dog, Coco. And she is the reason I get up most mornings. A wonderful little creature. So she just needs all the attention in the world. So I mean, Cabon, we discuss a lot of.
That's why you would call.
Yeah, he is literally the most underrated coach at the minute. He is fucking unreal, and the people he's produced over the year on year consistently top quality fighters. I know everybody goes on about Darren and Mike at the minute, and rightly so. Both of those guys are literally top of the tree, top of the food chain stuff. But there's other guys out there too, and I count you, I count Chris, I count Scano, Terry Adam, all these guys. Paul Kelly, we talked about before. Look at that really is like, you're not going to get much better than that in a gym, and for you to coexist with them and learn from them is an outstanding experience.
Oh, it's unbelievable. I mean, a lot of people like Cole's obviously a renowned striking coach, and he's a renowned MMA coach. But what people don't realize is how good his grappling is.
Yeah, Chris was saying the same thing. His grappling's frightening.
Listen, I've rolled with Andre Galvao.
Mm-hmm.
And that didn't really struggle. I'll be honest, I'm not big-headed. He passed my guard eventually, and he jumped on an armbar, and I held my arm, and eventually pulled out of it, and that was the end of the road. I didn't tap him; he didn't tap me. Yeah. The next day, I rolled with Colin, and Colin absolutely raped me. He was wrist locking me. I don't tap the wrist locks. I'm not tapping the wrist lock, okay? But I had to tap his. He was snapping my arm. Yeah, arm was getting snapped off. So he just plays with me. He knows my game inside out because he is my coach. But the fact he's able to play and dictate what he does is, I've never experienced anything like it before.
No, I think
highest black belt I've ever rolled with.
Any person who has trained with him, like Chris, you or anybody I know that has been coached by him, has nothing but the best thing to say about him, and that's an absolute testament, because there's always one naysayer, there's always one dickhead. Nobody seems to come away and be unhappy that they've trained a Team Cabon, and I think that's a testament to Colin and a testament to the guys in the gym. We talked about this before, but the Irish connection. I mean, there's Big Mindicus. He has left IFS in May and made his way to Liverpool. You had Carl Maclean travel over. You now have the Tiernan Loughlin and Keelan Loughlin over there full time. So
they're going to be big.
Yeah,
Loughlin and Tiernan Loughlin, they're going to be two to watch.
I was very impressed with Tiernan against Carl Maclean. Actually,
fight. That was a good fight. That was a hard-out fight.
I have my own views on it. I thought the decision would have went the other way. simply because Tiernan spent too much time on his back. But there's an argument to be made both ways. And the first thing I did afterwards was go into their dressing room and thank him and say, really good fight and good luck in the future, because he's fucking going to the top. That guy's only 18 and he was tremendous. Good composure too, because Carl hits hard, properly hard.
Yeah.
And
Carl's an experienced striker.
yeah,
Very hard, very good.
You've trained with Carl, you know what his striking level's like. And that was good for Tiernan to be able to handle him on any way and not to show a single bit of fear and never to show a single bit of doubt in himself. So I was very impressed with him.
Yeah, and Kanelin's the same. Kanelin's like as dedicated as you can get.
Yeah, I mean, I go on about Kaelin's fight with Mickey Dorn from IFS. Do you remember?
Yeah.
That walk to the ring is the most spellbinding moment of any I've ever experienced. It was literally like an out-of-body experience. The noise, oh my God, the noise was like frighteningly loud. People, like I remember people like literally just yelling in your face, and I couldn't hear. Now I'm partially deaf, but I couldn't hear a single thing. In the corner, I was screaming at Mickey, not because I was overtly trying to like encourage him. It was the only way you can communicate. It was so insane. And for Kaelin to come through that, I mean, literally again, hat off. I thought the fight was a draw, hat off. He got the win, good win. And you can't argue with his performances. Like, fuck, those two are good.
He comes across as cocky, doesn't he? He comes across a bit like cocky, but arrogant.
Part of the game too.
He's probably one of the nicest guys you'll meet. Like,
it's part of the game.
But he's a talented kid. He is a talented kid. And he's wrestling every day now. Like the only fights he's really lost or fights he's had same day weigh-ins. And he's a big.
Oh, he's a big dude. Like him and Mickey.
He comes from the 70s.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So he'd be the same size as me. I mean, when I stood beside him, I'm 76 kilos. I walk around 76 kilos. And he was the same size as me. So he's a big dude and he cuts right down. So both those guys have got a brilliant future. I can't wait to see how they're going to progress and what shows they're going to end up in. And, I think one or other of them's going to the top, like.
Yeah, definitely. Both UFC standards. It's the same with everyone in our gym right now. I mean, you've got Colin Rigby's coming back. He's been fighting for decades. But he's only gone pro. You've got the Small brothers, so Aaron Smalls and Jimmy Smalls. Unbelievable. Little balls, past black belts out. The game's unbelievable. He's new purple belt. We've got like Chris Stringer, as you spoke to. He's making his comeback. We've got like the Big Mindy, Big Tom Aspinall's fighting in UFC now, the big heavyweight.
Yeah.
Our partner Tyson Fury. You've got Till, you've got Grundy, you've got an impressive mat right now. So
it's scary, but it's good too because it's a really good place to go. People don't now need to travel. People from Europe don't need now to choose SBG or fly across the planet to go to TriStar or somewhere. They've got the opportunity now with Cabon too. I mean, and I think that opens up MMA across Great Britain, across Ireland too, because you've got a separate choice. It's not just, well, I'm going to go down and train with John. Don't get me wrong. SBGI is a great place to train. John's a great coach. Guys down there are fantastic. But it's not the only game in town, and Cabon's proven that now, so I'm glad to see it. I'm glad to see that opening up of other.
I don't even, in my opinion, and I'm biased as hell, but I don't think it's comparable, SBG and Cabon, because the amount of homegrown fighters from Cabon that have went to the UFC.
Yeah.
We have like 9 or 10 UFC fighters from our gym, brought from the ground up.
Yeah.
Whereas if you go to other gyms, I'm not badmouthing any other gym.
Yeah, they're getting a lot of transplanted fighters.
They haven't got that. A lot of transplanted fighters, a lot of fighters from other gyms coming over, not homegrown. So there's a big difference. There's a big difference there between Standard and Colin's coaching. It's all down to Colin. And then obviously Grundy's an amazing wrestling coach as well.
Oh, he's fantastic. He's ridiculous.
There's no better wrestling coach than Grundy in the country. Like my wrestling.
Probably not at the minute. No, probably not.
Already.
Yeah, but that's. I mean, you've got a great future ahead. You're in probably the best gym, one of the best gyms in Europe at the moment. And it's brilliant to see, brilliant to speak back to you. Obviously, get a chance to have another catch up and a chat with Ali. So before we go, where can people find Ali Maclean? First of all, if the guys and girls want to train with you, where can people find Ali Maclean?
So if anyone wants to train with me, anyone wants to lose weight, build muscle, or wants just accountability, they can go to macleantrain.com. So MACLEAN.train, TRAIN.com. or on this Instagram, McleanTraining.com, or McLean Training rather on Instagram. And then if they want to talk to me personally or after Instagram, it's just Alan McLean. So yeah.
Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to? Any sponsors? Anybody who has been helping you out?
Nah, fuck everyone. Fuck everyone, Andy. Fuck them all. I'm all about me. No, no.
Yeah. So just before we go, I always ask another couple of quick fire questions. So, favorite film?
You know what? I was thinking about this the other day. I'm gonna go for Heat.
Great film.
Heat with Al Pacino and Robert De Niro.
Yep.
Unbelievable film. Val Kilmer.
Yeah, great film. Best book you've read?
Best book I've read.
Yep.
Mind Gym by a guy called Gary Mack. About the mental side of training. First ever mind book I ever read.
Mm-hmm.
It changed my whole philosophy on sort of the mental side of things.
Yeah, great. And finally, Tekken, Street Fighter 2, or Mortal Kombat?
Do you know what? Neither. Back in the day when I used to play computer games, there wasn't any fighting games. I used to play, I was a geek, I used to play Counter-Strike.
Counter-Strike? Oh, but Street Fighter 2 is like 92 or 91. Street Fighter 2 is an awesome game.
Yeah, I would only be 2 years old when Street Fighter was out. Do you know what? I used to play Tekken. I outplayed Tekken, to be fair, quite a bit.
Yeah, Chris said Mortal Kombat, so you're going for Tekken. I'm never going to change from Street Fighter 2. Fucking greatest game of all time.
Street Fighter. Never played Street Fighter, really.
Greatest game. Do yourself a favor. Go and find it. It's fucking unreal. You'll just be down a rabbit hole. It's amazing. So, before we go, Ali, thank you very much for your time today, mate. It's been absolutely brilliant to speak to you. It's brilliant to engage with you again. Where you can find Not Another Fightcast on the socials, which is a thing. I fucking need to keep saying this. The word socials really does exist. So on the socials, you can find us at Not Another Fightcast on Instagram and at Not Another Fightcast on Facebook. And you can also find us on YouTube now, where we're going to post this on the YouTube too. So you can find us on YouTube as well, just by checking out Not Another Fightcast. So if you haven't done that and you're listening to this on the audio version alone, just go give us a like, subscribe, and maybe a little share on YouTube. If you're really interested, go and give the video a watch. You know what A, I look like, B, what Ali looks like, and also C, now what my beautiful little rescue dog looks like. But also you can find my normal co-host, Mr. PC_commentary Campbell.
Voice of Brave.
He is fucking seamless. He is absolute. I can't.
He is
phenomenal.
Isn't he from Larne? Larne?
Yeah.
You see, someone from Larne to be able to speak properly is amazing.
Fluently,
it's just a testament to him as a person.
Yes, and properly. So, that's right, little tiny doggy making another appearance. Right, I'm nearly done. So, folks, thank you very much for listening. Ali, it's been an utter pleasure. So stay on after I cut the recording and have a quick chat with you again. So, folks, I've been Not Another Fightcast. So please go, if you can find me on Instagram as well, if you really want to see boxing pictures of my beautiful little dog, it's at @_icon. We have been Not Another Fightcast. I've been Andy the Icon Burrows, and that has been Ali McLean. Folks, thank you very much. See you soon.